screen?
You look at the screen, why don't you?
Not thinking for a moment that maybe Greg has, his Audacity window covering up the screen so he can't see it. Maybe
Why would you
there's a
do
reason.
that? Why?
Phil is my greatest champion.
Yeah. And after all those
guess
rude
so.
things you said about me earlier, Greg. So
There's no record of that. I don't know
there
what
you
rude
go.
things you're talking
Yeah,
about.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Should we do another one of those fun countdown videos? Because those were fun.
Shouldn't you do that before we go live with like?
I don't know what you're talking about. Hi.
Very meaningful. That's great. We did it.
I love those videos. They're
We
great.
did it. Is it a
I just
random
wish you'd
one?
remember them. I wish you'd remember them
No.
before you start streaming with the three of us talking.
Yeah.
It's not random. I selected that one from
I would have.
the list here.
Had I known you were going to do that, I would have done like a quick change, like got a different outfit on or something, just to throw people off.
We can do it again.
So,
Well, I don't have anything ready.
We'll get something ready
Let
for
me
next
go.
week.
Let me go
Darn
open
it.
my cosplay closet here and see what I have. Oh,
You have a cosplay closet?
yeah.
That's some new information.
Phil's tickle
Of all-
trunk.
All my
Excuse me, what?
all my anime outfits. Yeah, I got my Project A-ko outfit in there.
God,
Yikes.
Got
got a little
my.
cutie honey going there too, or
I don't have the body for Kitty Honey.
I don't know. Don't sell yourself short, Phil. You got lots of curves. They might not all be in the exact right place, but you push those things around
This is
with
the
some
only-
girdles and stuff. You're snapping in.
The only time
Snapping
I've ever heard Greg say Phil and not short in the same
No,
sentence.
I didn't
there.
say you were not short. I said
Well,
don't
you-
sell yourself short.
Well, that's close
Yeah,
enough for
a
me,
little
buddy.
different.
Close enough for me.
Hello and welcome to episode 749 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, March 16th, 2021. I'm your host, Chris Johnston, and with me, as always, from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Yellow.
How's it going there, sir?
I am $850 poorer this week.
Oh, you finally did it.
Yep. Why? What do you think I did?
You bought that $840 taco truck that you've been
Pretty close.
eyeballing.
Pretty close.
Oh,
You're
wow.
starting up. What is it?
Well,
What did you?
we'll get into this. I'll introduce Phil Theobald from the great state of Washington first. Then we'll get into it.
Hi.
Phil, welcome.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Is it a
Now
great
let's
state?
all listen to Greg's thing.
What did Greg spend a bunch of money on?
I didn't spend a bunch of money personally, but I ordered a lot of food through Uber Eats in Ontario on
800.
March 11th.
Now wait a second. I don't know much about Canada, but I do know.
Our prices are higher.
I do know
Hmm.
that Nova Scotia is not Ontario,
Yep. You got
Yeah.
that right.
or
You're
Ontario. Ontario is not in Nova Scotia.
No. Also
And-
true.
Halifax is not Ontario.
Right.
Yeah.
Halifax
Okay.
is a city anyway.
So what
but-
Were you-
what
Well,
happened?
that's-
You were
so
the
yeah,
victim of a hack?
Yes. So I on what was it? What was the 11th? Wednesday?
I don't know.
know. Of course I'm not tethered to my phone, so there were some notifications that I hadn't seen for
Okay.
about 20 minutes, but I did notice about 10 minutes into what was happening that my phone was sort of just dinging like crazy.
Oh,
So I picked it up
Yikes.
to take a look, and there were, I think at that point, about 8 notifications from Uber Eats that my food was on the way.
okay.
And I was like, "Whoa, that's not good." So I tried to get into the app, couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Couldn't sign in, And meanwhile, more notifications, more food's on the way, more food's on the way. And of course, I don't know if you know this or not, but it's real hard to get a hold of somebody at Uber support. Like real hard.
That doesn't surprise me.
No phone number that I could find anywhere.
Internet economy, the services that you use that have apps, getting a real person on the phone.
Yeah. So I sent out a message on Twitter, basically just to say like, uh-oh. And this is an Uber Eats thing, and sort of reached, added Uber Eats and called my bank at the same time to cancel my cards. So while I was on the phone with the bank, about 20 minutes later, Uber got in touch with me via Twitter. And I had to end up talking to them over email. The support was all done via email, but they were also trying to send me support updates via Twitter, but it was always a good hour after my previous message before they'd respond.
Okay.
Anyway, what ended up happening was there were about 12 purchases in Ontario that were grand total about $850.
Someone was hungry.
Yikes.
Yeah. And, well, no, it was all to different people, obviously, but
a bunch of people were hungry.
And then I spent the next few days going back and forth with like a new person every time through Uber support, getting me to try to prove these purchases. And the only saving grace was I have my bank statement, but my bank statement doesn't say much besides that it's an Uber charge, right?
I mean, why are you ordering food in a different province?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And why are you sending food to 4 different addresses from 4 different restaurants in the space of 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, what I got really lucky on, and I'd forgotten about this, is that I originally set up my Uber account as a corporate account.
Ew.
So I get corporate receipts sent to my work email every time I order something through Uber Eats or use Uber.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Which luckily sends you an itemized, because it's a corporate receipt, right? So it's an itemized list.
Right.
And it says what time the order was made, where it was made from, where it went, and what was ordered. So I ended up sending them all of that. Basically.
Okay.
And I ended up sending them all of that about 7 times. Because I constantly get an email back from a new person at Uber support saying we can't seem to verify these purchases.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And every time I'd be like, I'm not sure why you can't verify them when I'm sending you your receipts.
Right.
That
would be the easy part for them.
A little shady. Right?
Yeah.
So I finally got frustrated with that, and I tweeted again about how Uber support has been a complete mess. 5 minutes later, I was told that they were going to refund all my purchases.
Excellent.
So, but anyway, it was a terrible experience. Uber support is awful.
Apparently,
I highly recommend never using them for anything that has to do with your personal cards.
Yeah.
That's the last time I'll ever be using them for anything.
Yeah.
And it's like you hear about them being shady anyway. There's a lot of problems around Uber. They don't pay their contractors enough. Their contractors aren't vetted properly.
Right.
But yeah, and I personally, since my divorce, I don't use credit cards. I got rid of all my credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
So this money came directly out of my account. So I'm short this money until it comes back. It's not like a credit card bill that's going to show up in 3 weeks. So
right.
Anyway, that was my Uber experience this past week. So hopefully, I don't know. They said they're going to refund the money. I feel like they're going to charge back to a card that doesn't exist anymore. So I'm not sure what's going to happen this week.
Exactly. Oh, God.
Yeah. Good times.
That sucks. That really
good times.
Yeah.
Don't use Uber.
A good policy. Yeah. A good policy on that. Hey, I launched a new podcast this past week. So Second Player has a new podcast. So I'm going to just leave you guys to it. See you later.
Nice. No, if you leave, we won't have a show.
Yeah.
Hey, you're
Bill
right.
and I are way too lazy to do this ourselves.
Oh, absolutely. My goodness.
You're right. So as part of secondplayer.net, which is where I'm highlighting podcasts and YouTube videos that are sort of fan-made, smaller stuff, I started a podcast interviewing creators of those podcasts and YouTube videos. So That is now available. I'll link to that in the show notes. Plus,
Yeah.
there's now a membership program for Second Player for creators and other people. If you just want to support what I'm doing with that whole site, there's also a membership for that. But basically, if you're a creator, podcaster, or like someone with a YouTube channel, you can join this, and it's going to get you posts each month within a roundup of member channels and podcasts. A monthly Zoom hangout where we'll all support each other, hang out and say, like, what did we do this month, and what sort of strategies are we trying to do to grow our shows and whatnot. And I think it'll be good. I'm going to invite some guests to join that as well, which will be fun.
Some successful guests, I hope.
Yeah, and you get episodes of the Second Player podcast a week early. So there's one that's going up on Wednesday with Greg. I interviewed Greg some weeks ago.
So you know how not to do it.
This Greg right here?
This Greg Seward.
That same one. Greg right there?
That same Greg.
I know him.
Right there.
He's right there. How you doing, man?
Yeah. But,
we're doing it. We're getting it. We're getting the blocking down. There he is.
Hey, CJ.
He's right there.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah, I think it's a fun little thing. But anyway, if anybody wants to join or support that, secondplayer.net/join.
I heard CJ's wife said the same thing on their honeymoon.
What? I have heard CJ's a lot of fun. I think this is a great idea. Yeah. I think that YouTubers and podcasters need to do way more cross promotion, way more supporting each other.
Yes,
and anything that helps with that, I'm all for.
Yes, and in fact, the first episode of Second Player, I interviewed Luke Lohr of the Xbox Expansion Pass podcast. He's in the chat right now.
Oh my gosh! Don't say anything.
Watching us.
Don't say anything bad.
For really still, maybe he won't see us. Maybe his vision's based on movement,
like a T-Rex.
Like a T-Rex.
There you
T-Rex
go.
In that one movie that one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Greg.
Hi.
Oh wait, you're talking to Greg now, and not me.
I'm addressing Greg.
Fine.
Yes, I have a feeling that this whole Second Player nonsense is just CJ's roundabout way of corralling a bunch of YouTubers that he can talk into recording a Christmas song later this year.
Very possible.
That's what this is all. That's what this is all. This is what this is all about.
That's what this whole thing is.
This is an elaborate recruitment scheme.
I plan on starting planning for the Christmas song in about July this year. So
excellent.
I figured that way we might make it by Christmas Eve.
That's perfect.
There's even merch for Second Player. I even made merch.
More merch. Do we have merch for Player One?
Exactly. No, we don't.
CJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made it so that I can buy it, and if people want to buy,
he's got
stuff too.
He's got pins and iPhone cases and
that's right,
actual iPhones,
hoodies,
and
all the actual iPhones.
You can get a CJ plushie. But
I think it'll be
fully
fun.
articulated fingers.
Yeah,
really positive. I think it'll be a positive thing, right, for people who do video game podcasts.
Absolutely.
And YouTube channels. So
absolutely,
yes, I agree.
We'll see how it goes. But anyway,
and of course, the big news with Player One, which I know we discussed earlier in the week, is this week we are diving into the world of NFTs. And this is the first episode of our crypto cast.
That's right. Everybody who's watching right now can bid to own this
episode. You can own this episode.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Let's
just say
$3,000 starting bid.
No, we're just kidding. Don't do that.
We are absolutely not. All it takes is one insane, eccentric billionaire, and we are on easy street.
There are lots of those. There are more of those than ever before.
Right?
In history.
We will be on easy street.
I don't know. I don't feel right about it.
Someone buys Player One podcast episode 749 for like $6 million. We split that 3 ways. That's money in the bank.
That's like $2 million each.
Yeah. I won't have to.
I don't like this new NFT.
Quit the rat race.
I won't have to steal Greg's credit card to eat anymore, to feed my family
Ontario.
anymore. Well, I had an elaborate network of delivery services set up, so it shows up to the Ontario address, and then someone else picks up the food there and takes
really
it to
like a food relay.
Saskatchewan, and
Saskatchewan.
Eventually it works itself over to the West Coast.
Yeah.
Anyway, where is Saskatchewan in comparison to me, Greg?
East
North.
of you.
Well, I mean,
east and north.
West of me is the ocean. I know that.
I know.
All I knew. I figured.
I believe it's north and 2 provinces over. If I have my geography,
I
correct.
figured Saskatchewan would have to
it's
be
like
between
BC is north
you.
of you. BC is north of you. Next to that is Alberta.
Okay.
And then next to that is Saskatchewan.
Oh, okay. I knew BC was north of me. That's about as,
because you've been there.
I have been there. I have been there, and I know that Nova Scotia
is as far away as possible.
Is about as east as you can get without falling into the Atlantic.
Pretty close.
So I know the two ends of Canada. It's the middle part.
Yep.
That I don't really. Yeah, it's where I get lost.
You can watch your dog run away for 3 days in Saskatchewan. It's a joke about how flat it is.
No, I got that.
Saskatchewan is very flat.
I understood it.
So
I got it.
And it's true. I've driven through there, and wow, that is a boring drive.
Oh yeah.
Woo!
I mean,
Straight and flat.
I'm from the Midwest, so I don't know how much time you spent
with that.
Driving south on I-55 in Illinois. But it ain't scenic.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get on to talking about some video game news. Let's start with the most important story of the week, obviously, and that is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game from Tribute Games and .mu.
On the half shell, they're the heroes for in this day and age.
Yeah, all that stuff. So, pixel art game, obviously
Greg
inspired by the arcade games of the 1990s.
So the good ones.
The good ones. And we got a little trailer here with a new theme song.
Yeah.
It's kind of
it's a cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cover of the old cartoon theme.
Which I thought was good. Sounded
fun.
I
mean, the old cartoon theme would be better, but
you're
never going to live up to that.
There was some weird cadence when it got to the Leonardo leads part. It's kind of mixing up the cadence
making
there.
it their own.
Yeah, but also kind of sounding like maybe I forgot the lyrics for half a beat and then I'm like quickly catching up. They're the world's most fearsome fighting team. Leonardo leads Donatello does machine. It's that kind of thing.
But so it's pixel art, and we got the little effect of throwing enemies, the Foot Clan, into the screen as well.
Yep.
Saw clips of is it Rocksteady or Bebop?
Well, which one?
Oh, both of them actually.
Were they
in the
both
trailer,
there, weren't they?
Rocksteady is the rhino.
Okay, yeah, we got both of them then.
Bebop is the warthog.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think this looks fantastic. No
looks
release
really good.
date.
Yeah. We also saw Chrome Dome in there.
Oh yeah.
Chrome Dome was the big robot who kind of looks like Shredder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's a character named Chrome Dome.
Alrighty then.
That's a little turtle knowledge I'm dropping on you there.
Turtle knowledge.
Yep. We call it the TK.
So
what's your TK factor is what the kids would say.
Just like the kids say all the time. So this is I mean, it looks great, and I think the style of it looks like you remember the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game looking back in the 80s, and I think that's very much sort of like
I don't agree with that statement.
Doesn't look
it's
like
an
that
idealized version of how the Turtles arcade game looks.
It's a different version.
First of all, that's implying that the Turtles arcade games did not look as good as you remember.
Oh, and they did look good.
The Turtles arcade games looked great, and they still look great. and they look
Yeah.
just as great as you remember them.
Yes.
This is a very different look. The turtle
Okay.
proportions are very different.
They're
The
much smaller
the sprites are smaller,
Yeah.
allowing for more enemies on the screen.
and more turtles. It looks like it's 4 players, right?
It is.
It is 4 players. They all have different run cycles.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all run in ways that reflect their personality. Mikey is more energetic with his arms pumping as he runs, and Raphael's given the bird, because he's a jerk. He's cool but crude,
Okay.
It looks good.
It looks
It does look
great.
good, but it does not look like the old game.
Well, no, of course it does.
And for better or worse. I mean, but it still looks good.
So where I'm going with this is, what other arcade games, or even perhaps home games of that era, would you like to see reimagined in this way? My first thought after
Turtles
seeing
2,
this
Turtles in Time.
was that I'd like to see the Simpsons arcade game done with, 30
You know what?
plus years of hindsight of the show.
Yeah, I was going to say,
And-
with new gags and everything. And, Simpsons
Because-
arcade game would be a great remake because that game does not look as good as you remember it looking.
It definitely
No,
does
it
not.
So-
Well,
Plus-
the Simpsons arcade game.
wasn't it done in like during season 1 or beforehand?
It was
really
very
doesn't
early.
have-
It was very early. It was
Yeah.
it was definitely during season 1, possibly into season 2, but that
Yeah.
just means it was being worked on during season 1.
Yeah.
At which point there was really, there wasn't a whole lot of defined characters. So other than like the
Yeah.
actual Simpsons and I think
Well, there was
Mo
multiple
was in the
appearances
background.
multiple appearance by that rabbit character from his previous comic, right?
Yeah, Life in
Big-
Hell.
Life in
Binky,
Hell.
Binky.
First
Yeah.
of all, Binky.
Yeah, I don't care what it's called. I'm just saying he was in the game a lot.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
he
Yes.
was. But yeah, it'd be nice to see. Well, didn't they?
And here's the other thing with that: like,
What's that?
if the person listening to this podcast has the power to make this happen,
Matt
please don't
Groening
have any
is
of
his name.
please don't have any of the gags from The Simpsons go past like season 10. Just end it right there.
Well, I think we
Enjoy
all
it.
know
Why,
that.
so we
Show
understand what the hell
references.
we're looking at when we're playing it.
I
think
mean,
we're
if
the
it's gonna
smaller
be-
piece of the market at this point, CJ.
If it's going to be in the spirit of 1990s arcade games, let's leave
Okay.
all the references from The Simpsons in the 1990s.
Oh,
Have
okay.
that be the time capsule that we get this thing in. That's what I'm saying.
Well, apparently, I don't know if it's because it's Sunday as we record, which is typically Simpsons airing day.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, I don't know if it's an episode airing tonight or an episode airing soon, but I did see on the Twitters that one of the recent or the upcoming episodes has Homer being a teenager in the 90s.
I did see that.
Yeah,
Which is really freaky.
yeah, they bumped it up.
Remember
from,
when Homer was a teenager in the 60s or 70s?
like
Actually,
late
70s?
like late 70s? Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Now he's a
Yikes.
teenager. When we were teenagers,
That show has gone on way too long.
You know
Man,
what?
It just really
I-
has.
I know the whole Simpsons sucks now. Discourse is tired at best.
Yeah.
And I personally I have not watched Simpsons in
Long time.
several years. A few weeks ago, I decided to watch. I'm gonna watch some Simpsons. I'm gonna watch some new current season Simpsons just to see, because like I said, I haven't watched it in forever,
I've heard it's gotten better.
and I've heard that too.
Yeah.
It's like maybe it has gotten better. I'm probably not to the level it was back in the heyday, but I'm gonna give it a chance. So I loaded up the Hulu, because the Hulu streams the new episodes, and I started with the first episode of the current season, made it about 5 minutes in,
Mm-hmm.
and had to turn it off because I felt bad for everyone involved.
Wow.
I don't feel
writers,
bad. I don't feel bad for the
high
voice
praise.
actors. They get
Actors.
paid a
Well,
lot
I know, yeah,
of
they're
money.
getting, yeah. And of course for myself, and I was like, well, maybe that's a dud episode. I'll try this. I'll try the next episode. And
Yeah.
I did that with about maybe the first 4 or 5 episodes. Made it
Ah.
about 5 minutes into each one, and had to turn it off because
That's
it was
too
just
bad.
so bad. Did you know the comic book guy is married now?
That's weird.
What? That is weird.
The comic book
No.
guy is married to a Japanese woman, and there was an episode where the comic book guy and his wife ended up hanging out with the Simpsons, like they were becoming friends, and it was really just weird and badly done and not funny. It was
Right.
that was a yeah. So that was my failed experiment to give the Simpsons another chance. But
Okay.
it failed. Didn't they a few years ago, talking about, hey, let's have an updated Simpsons game, didn't they remake the arcade game for iOS?
You might be right.
I believe they did.
And it was kind of like flash animated or something. It was not pixel art. It was.
I never tried it.
You're right.
I seem to remember playing it, and I seem to remember it being not good.
Okay.
That is not to say that like Tribute Games couldn't do an exceptional job with it,
I'm sure they could.
because they absolutely
Yeah.
could.
Yeah.
But
I really like this sort of trend of taking some old games and giving them a nice pixel art coat of paint, like Sonic
Right.
Mania.
right,
You know, taking some of that spirit of the old Sonic games and making it look better than
yeah,
you remember. And this looks great. And I'd like to see the Simpsons arcade game happen for
That would be
sure.
nice.
I'd love to see like a remade Super Mario Brothers 2. I'll say it. Fine. Okay.
We're talking about arcade games, I thought.
I know,
Yeah.
but I said home as well. I said home
Oh,
games
okay.
too.
Yeah.
Let's bring that into the conversation. But I like it. I want to see more of this happen.
I mean, the obvious answer, of course, is all of these kind of licensed beat 'em
Yeah.
ups that were kind of
Sure.
trapped in arcades. You know, like Alien versus Predator
Alien
from
versus Predator,
Capcom,
yeah.
the X-Men
Yes.
arcade game. You know,
Yeah.
all these
Do
all
a lot
these
of really
ones,
cool stuff.
yeah, where licenses have expired and
Cowboys of Moo Mesa.
precisely.
Yes.
I just watched the history of the
That's
Cowboys.
what I
of
did
Moo
too. That's
Mesa.
why I have it
It
in
was
my
like
mind.
it's like someone's been watching
That's a
some
great
Toy
ep-
Galaxy.
That was a punny episode. That
Oh,
was
absolutely.
Great.
Toy Galaxy,
Galaxy's
by
awesome.
the way, is
Oh,
one of the best YouTube shows you could
I-
be watching.
the
Yes.
second I see they post a new episode, I drop everything and watch it.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Love me some Toy Galaxy.
I will have to link to it in the
There's
show
very little to
notes.
do with toys. Lots
Yeah,
to do with old
at least
cartoon
now.
shows
Yeah,
that I'm
yeah.
good with.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
It's very much like, history of old 80s crap.
Yep.
So,
Live action TV shows and cartoons.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I think I watched the Automan history of
Yeah.
and the Misfits of Science as well. Didn't he do one on that?
He did. Yeah,
Ah.
Even
pretty
Knight
recently.
Rider recently, and
Yeah,
Airwolf.
Yep.
So fun. I didn't
Yeah.
watch the Airwolf one yet.
Oh, it's good times.
Yeah.
Yep.
I loved
We
that
watched
show.
some real
back
weird
then.
shit when we were kids,
Mhm.
and I loved it.
Completely.
Yes.
So the Bethesda deal with Xbox is done. They are now one. Microsoft has completed their acquisition of ZeniMax. So
There it is.
yeah, it has happened. So as part of this, we got 20 Bethesda games that dropped onto Game Pass this
Mhm.
past week.
Oh, what has shown up there?
Bunch of Dooms.
Bunch of Dooms.
Ah, boy, those Doom games.
Hey, I was
Dishonored
playing some
1
Doom
and
64
2.
yesterday.
So you got 1, 2, 64, 3, Eternal are new
Okay.
to Game Pass.
Okay.
And you got your Fallout New Vegas, you got your Fallout 4, you got your Fallout 76, your Prey, your Rage 2, your Morrowind, your Oblivion, your Skyrim, your Elder Scrolls Online, your Evil Within, your Wolfenstein, New Blood, Old Blood, and what's that last one? Youngblood, Old Blood, New Order. Okay, that's
What's the actual order of those? What's the
Of
first
the
one?
Wolfensteins.
Yes,
No idea.
I think it goes New Order, Old Blood, Young Blood.
I think that's right. I played New Order, and I really liked
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I really
I
liked
tried
New
to
Order.
play New Order, and then I got nauseous because of the camera angle,
first person-y stuff. Yeah.
first person-y stuff, and had to
Ah,
not
sorry.
play it anymore.
I'm sorry.
I know.
It's a good
Same
game.
thing happened with Prey. Same thing happens with a lot of games. It's
well, you
just
didn't play
unfortunate.
the Doom games because of this, right?
I couldn't play Doom. Yeah,
Yeah,
Doom
it's too bad.
2016 or Doom Eternal. Yeah, can't play those, unfortunately. Yeah. But we did get a quote from Phil Spencer just reiterating that the acquisition is about exclusive games to the Xbox platform, just in case there was any question of it. The quote, but if you're an Xbox customer, the thing I want you to know is this about delivering great exclusive games. Oh, wait, hold on. Redo.
Yep, let's redo. Yep. Take two.
But if you're an Xbox customer, the thing I want you to know is this is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists. Yeah. So beforehand, there were a lot of questions
Game Pass
like
comes to PlayStation and Switch.
Then that means exactly. But it also means that games like Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo that were previously announced as exclusives for PS5 are gonna start off that way anyway. So I still imagine that those are timed exclusives and will eventually come to Xbox.
But I mean, the Series X needs exclusives. So it makes sense for them to hoard that stuff for now.
Absolutely. I think Xbox as a platform needs exclusives.
Badly.
Like forget about
Badly.
Series X, but Game Pass as a thing. And so my question to you is, now that we know those 20 games, and I know, Greg, you've been playing Doom 64, are you guys interested in booting any of those up?
I keep telling myself someday I want to go back and play the Elder Scrolls games, but I've been telling myself that for like 16 years now. So, or however long it's been, 2000, since Oblivion came out.
Yeah.
So it was 14 or 15 years now.
So I've never played Oblivion or Skyrim.
I played like 10 hours of Oblivion and I really enjoyed it. But it was just one of those, it was back when I was still buying way too much stuff, way too fast.
Yeah.
And plus, it was early days of 360, so you saw that community aspect where most of the people I knew moved on to something else before I'd finished Oblivion. So I moved on too, because that's sort of what you did back then, right? You all sort of migrated to the next game together. But, and I really liked what I played of Dishonored previously. And of course, Doom is awesome. So, I mean, none of them are high on my priority list, but, they're
there.
games.
They're there, though. They're waiting for you.
Fallout too, right? The Fallout games are in there too, right?
Yeah.
The Fallout games are in there. Yeah, some of them
sorry,
are already on Game Pass, so these are 20 new ones.
Right. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
I downloaded Dishonored to try out
as
well. I'll be talking about that a little later.
Good game.
Oh. Yeah,
I
wouldn't mind playing the other Wolfenstein games because I never got around to trying any of those out. So
I hear Youngblood has a co-op
does it?
focus on it too.
That's the most recent one, right?
That is the most recent.
Yes. I've also heard that one's not as good though.
I heard it was good.
Really?
Yeah.
But you also heard the old Turtles arcade games didn't look very good.
That's true.
I didn't say that. I didn't
Yeah.
say that Turtles arcade game didn't look very good.
Yeah, why didn't you like those games? Those are fun.
Rewind.
Yeah. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
What? I like the Turtles arcade.
It's weird. Why don't you like old games? What is this?
I do.
Yeah, for a guy who calls himself Super Pack.
Yeah.
Seems
I
like
don't know how many little Pac-Man statuettes and figures I've ordered
That's a
this year.
political name, Phil.
Oh,
It has nothing
okay,
to do with
yeah.
video games.
The answer is 2. I've ordered 2 little
two?
figures of Pac-Man that are coming out later this year.
Did you get the one with where it's him with like the little mirror behind him? That's the recent one
that's
I
the
saw.
first 4 figures. Yeah, I'm tempted, but
It's a little pricey.
Pricey, and I don't really have like a good place for it. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So now that Microsoft has all these studios, in fact, the acquisition of ZeniMax gives them 8 more studios.
Oh.
What do you think about so they have all those studios under their belt? Does that help them turn the tide?
Sure, some games come out.
Once games come out, and does Sony need to match?
I own lots
the
of diet
number of
books, but that doesn't help to turn the tide either. So
the number of studios that Xbox now has, does Sony need to like step their game up to be able to match whenever the games start coming out from these studios?
Sony seems to be releasing high quality stuff at a pretty decent rate already.
Oh, I hope that. Yeah. Fingers are crossed that Ratchet comes out in June.
Oh,
Isn't delayed.
I think it'll make it.
There was some podcast I was listening to that it just because it has a date doesn't mean it can't get delayed. And I want shit, that's right.
Well, that's true of anything, though.
That's true of anything.
yeah.
But I'm pinning my hopes.
Want to play Ratchet? I don't mind.
Yeah, I feel good about that making its date.
Yeah,
I do too, just because we've seen gameplay of it and looked
we have
close to final.
We have.
So there's a Square Enix game showcase happening this week, and some information leaked out about it.
Ew.
So
Final
about
Fantasy VI remake.
Oh, well, what?
Final Fantasy VI remake.
Wait, what?
No, I'm
Was
just
that in
asking.
there?
No, I'm asking. I don't know.
Sadly, no.
Damn it.
I would have been all about that had that been part of it. I mean, who knows? It might be part of it, but one thing that it definitely is a Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor trilogy that includes the most recent Tomb Raider games: Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are good games. I haven't played Shadow of the Tomb Raider yet, actually. That's another one that I keep meaning to play, but I really enjoyed the first two in that group.
Yeah.
So,
do you think they'll ever go back to the other Tomb Raider, like the old Tomb Raider?
well, they did the anniversary edition ages ago.
That was a long time ago.
I'd like to see that get a re-release, to be honest, because that was, the thing about Tomb Raider, even when it was super popular, like, what an amazing example of a series that peaked with the first game and then slowly declined. Tomb Raider 2 was good, but it wasn't as good as the first one. And 3, and then you had like Chronicles, and I don't even remember all the versions that came out after that, but they had gotten into that terrible because the first one ended up being so popular. Eidos at the time was the publisher, and they gotten into that terrible rut of releasing a new one every single year. But unlike the way, say, Activision handled Call of Duty, after a while, it was the same team every single year. So you just it was law of diminishing returns, and the series declined almost immediately. It rode the wave of popularity for a little while, and then it just sort of fell apart. So, like, honestly, I'm not super interested in like the original games coming out again, because the original games weren't that great, I feel, except for the first one. The first one was fantastic. I would love to see an HD update to the anniversary version they did of that game.
Okay.
The rest of them, I don't care if they ever show up again. Although it would be nice it would be nice to see them pop up even in their original form. Kind of like the Doom and Doom 2, maybe made widescreen, cleaned up a tiny bit, but I can't see them putting a ton of work into it because I don't feel like Tomb Raider is a big enough property to do that sort of thing with. But they do have that anniversary version of the first game sitting out there that I feel like they could clean up a little bit and release, and it would look good.
Very possible. We're also going to see a new Life is Strange game, apparently not developed by Don't Nod. It's going to be a new developer.
Interesting.
Yeah. Something new with Outriders. There's a rumor that it's going to launch right into Game Pass, which may see some of that. And some more on Balan Wonderworld. Hooray. A new Square Enix Montreal game.
I never
Avengers.
never talked myself into playing that demo after
You never did?
After our chat about it.
Oh.
What am I what
Nothing.
Listen to that. CJ's like, oh, what am I missing, CJ?
A lot of pain.
Yeah, see.
Honestly. I just don't understand. Like, there's got to be a great story about why that game exists the way that it does. Like, yeah, it just...
It's funny because that video that you... what was the name of that channel that you sent me to? New Frame Plus?
New Frame Plus. Yeah.
Great channel, by the way.
Yes.
And it was actually through Second Player that you, I think, posted the video that he did going through the animation of all the different Sonic games through the years. And it struck me that when he got to the Sonic Adventure section and sort of Sega and Sonic team through the early 2000s and the transition to 3D and how they just didn't seem to be able to get it. And boy, does Bilbo's Wonderwall ever fit into that
really
into that category completely?
It does. It's really just like they skipped over all the advancements
like
made.
They didn't notice what everyone else was doing.
Yeah, it's terrible. But anyway, yeah, that New Frame Plus video is fantastic. It's an hour and 45 minutes on
It's
animation in
so
the Sonic
good.
games.
Phil,
and
you'd really enjoy it.
It
Oh,
is
yeah?
very good. It is a
Okay.
very good video.
Hmm.
But all right, I think we should get into what you've been playing.
Okay.
And
Nothing.
we'll start off with Greg.
I really have not been playing much new this week. I played more of Macross HD Edition.
Oh, nice.
Robotech Macross Saga HD Edition on Twitch last week.
I
Got
watched
you
you
what I think-
die a
yeah.
bunch in that.
What I think was the final level, but I couldn't beat it. It was nuts.
Hmm.
On easy. It was crazy. So
It was very bullet hell like.
oh my god.
Problem. I mean, bullet hell shooters usually have that 4-pixel space that you can't get hit in. Robotech has like this huge Valkyrie that anything hits you and you lose
Yeah.
a little bit of life. It's
So
funny.
I didn't finish that. And then otherwise, I've actually been writing. I got a freelance gig for an upcoming book. I'm not going to name the author or anything because I don't think he's announced it yet. But so I'm writing some essays for some older games. So I've been playing some older games. Some
Cool.
Genesis and Saturn games this week that, like I say, I'm not going to say what they are because I don't think any of that's been announced. But so I really didn't play much of anything else this week.
All right then, Phil.
Yeah.
What do you got for us?
Well-
Or is playing the latest video game?
Well, I'm here
Latest
to
game
reveal. I'm here to reveal all the games that Greg was playing because
Damn it.
he shared with me in confidence what he's been playing.
And now
so
you can exclusively reveal.
time for the worldwide premiere. Now I actually have not really been playing that much this week either. Although I did decide to try out that Genshin Impact game
Right.
that you were talking about several weeks ago.
That fans of Genshin Impact are lining up in front of KFCs in China
Yes, they have some sort
to
of
get
promotion
special in-game items.
where if you yell at your KFC server, they give you some goodies or something.
Something like that, yeah.
They had to call in the police to manage the lines because apparently that game was
They did.
quite
It was-
popular over in China.
Very similar to the Rick and Morty McDonald's
Yes, yes, absolutely.
sauce thing of a few years ago.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
going to go to KFC and demand some Szechuan sauce
That's
for my KFC. But well, you know what happened is my son Finn has started playing Genshin Impact on his laptop because one of his he has a group of friends, classmates that he plays games with together. You know, they're all in remote school together. And then as soon as school finishes up for today or for the day, they all hop into their own little chat and they'll load up Roblox and they'll bounce around from game to game in Roblox playing. But then one of his little friends got into Genshin Impact somehow, and she was explaining it to him. It was like, "Oh, you should play." So he was like, "Okay." So we downloaded it and he started playing it.
Yum.
And I was watching a little bit. And I was like, it's pretty. It's a pretty looking game.
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
An action RPG. You know, so I was like,
With anime girls and such.
with anime and anime boys,
And anime boys too.
anime
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll download this and see. So I downloaded it on the PlayStation 5. It's a PS4 game. They do not have a PS5 optimized version of it or anything. But I started playing that a little bit. It seems okay.
Yeah.
It seems
Yeah.
cute, right? I mean,
It is. I mean, it's compared a lot to Breath of the Wild, and I think it's traversal. I mean, is kind of like Breath of the Wild, but I think it's. I don't know. I didn't stick with it as much because it seems more like it's built for that free to play treadmill. where
right,
the content just doesn't seem all that important at the beginning.
right.
They're building this story, but you know the story's not going to.
Oh
have
yeah,
an
it's
end.
like I'm not even paying attention to the story because
Right.
it's like it doesn't matter.
No,
It's just
no.
it's just a bunch of anime tropes and
which is
and-
fine. Fine.
which is fine. And I'm sure, there's some 15-year-olds who are really, really getting into the lore, but whatever. Just where's a monster I got to hit with my sword a few times before some experience points pop out of it or something.
Yeah.
I'm very early in the game. I just got the wings that let you jump. You can jump off and glide down from high cliffs or whatever.
Did your wings test, your license test? Or did they change that already?
I talked to. I went up because I got the archer girl.
Yeah,
who was the first character who joined your party. And I traveled into a town, and I got to a part in the town where the archer girl is like, "Okay, now I'm going to show you how to use the wings." And
there wasn't a whole thing where you had to get the wings, and then you fly through some rings, and then there's a big monster attack.
There was a big monster attack. I had to fight a dragon, but there was no
test.
Superman 64 ring course I had to go through.
Maybe they took that out then.
They must have changed that.
Yeah.
So I did the little dragon fight, and then they're like, "Hey, good job, you did it. You have wings now."
Cool.
And then some guy shows up, and I know he joins your party because he's in Finn's party right now because he's ahead of me in the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long I'm going to stick with it. Probably not terribly long, but it's a game my kid is interested in, and it seemed better than Roblox. So because Finn's always like, you should start playing some Roblox so we can play Roblox together, and I'm just like, maybe later. Maybe
Let's play tag in Roblox. Except the graphics are.
No, he plays in Roblox. There's a shark one. There's a shark bite, maybe
Shark one.
I don't think it's that. And there's one called Adopt Me that he's really into, where you just you get little pets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I
think my girls are really into fashion shows and stuff.
Oh, Fashion really? Famous.
Oh, yeah. That's a big hit.
And has not played that one as far
as
I know.
I've played Fashion
Famous a long time, actually. Yeah. Which I'm okay with.
So, yeah.
I didn't get enough votes in the fashion show, though.
That's sounds like a you problem. Yeah.
Get up your game, Johnston.
That's right.
But, so I was like, I can't imagine me sitting down and trying to figure out Roblox because it the eternal alpha build that is Roblox. But
I know.
But Genshin Impact at least looked like a game.
The people who do videos on Roblox that have millions of views on those videos, like,
no.
Charlotte will be watching one, and I'll watch it, and it's just like they're not doing anything. They're just running around, or it's like
yelling
jelly beans to something.
Are they yelling a lot?
Of course
they're yelling a lot. Yeah, one of them was like mowing the lawn.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is the point of this?
Oh, man, I'm mowing the lawn. Oh, look at me go. Oh, there's the lawn. Oh, the grass is shorted out. Yes.
And they had to buy power-ups to make the lawn mowing more effective. It was very weird. Anyway,
If I'm going to play a video game about mowing lawns, I'm going to play Jeff Minter's classic Hover Bubber, which I played all the time on my Commodore 64. Thank you very much.
Isn't there a lawnmower in Plants vs. Zombies, like the first, like a power-up or something that does?
I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't know. Why are you steering conversation away from a Jeff Minter game, CJ? Do you dislike him for some personal vendetta?
No. Twitter feud?
There was an old Commodore 64 game that he did.
Yeah.
Where you had to you stole your neighbor's lawnmower or something, and then you had to go around mowing your lawn. So
seems like a prototypical Roblox game that Jeff Minter did back in the 80s.
Ahead of his time, as always.
An innovator, a pioneer in the lawn mowing genre.
Oh man.
All right.
But that's really all that's all. Oh, you know what else I did? I have not played this yet because it has not arrived. I ordered something. I
Imagine
purchased
that.
something.
Okay.
I purchased something with Greg's stolen credit card. uh, Greg laughs, but there's that single tear. Man, you know what though? I had my credit card info stolen years ago, and boy did it suck. It sucked.
It's not a good feeling.
You know what? I noticed it. I noticed my credit card info had been compromised when a very expensive coffee maker showed up at my house.
At least they sent it to you. You know, if they sent the food to me, I think I'd feel less bad about it.
Well, and see, this
was $850 worth of food. It was a little bit much, but
I was very confused because I do not drink coffee at all. I absolutely do. Like the last thing I would purchase for myself is a coffee machine, especially some fancy expensive one. And I don't know why it was delivered to me. Whoever stole my credit card and ordered
somebody stupid stole your credit card.
Apparently. But I called and got it. My card's canceled and got it all straightened out. And I was talking to the coffee machine manufacturer or whatever, whoever they bought it from, and they told me to just keep it. Like the company, like I was like, I can box this up and send it back to you. I haven't opened it. I haven't done anything to it. And they were like, just keep it. And I was like,
really?
All right.
Can I send it back to you and have you send me the cash equivalent? Because
I don't want it.
I really have no use for this. But
you find out it's a scam from the coffee maker company themselves to get their name out.
Yeah, you have to use these special pods, but we are the only company that sells them, and they're very expensive.
Razor blades, bitch.
Yeah, they give you the razor for free.
Yeah,
but yeah, that was years and years ago. It was probably 10 years ago, if not longer. But I purchased, and you're going to scoff at me at first,
of course.
But hang tight. So I purchased at Games. Now hold on. Greg's already shaking his head.
I think I saw this as a deal, and I
saw this deal, this Walmart deal.
Yep.
I
heard it was good though.
At Games, company notorious for their terrible emulated products. They put out, like, back before Sega put out their little Genesis Mini. At Games was the one that had all those little self-contained Genesis things, and they were terrible. They were always absolutely terrible, just awful. Yeah. They put out it's called the Legends Gamer Pro.
Oh, I've heard of this thing.
Which seems less like a product name and more
Mega Man on the cover. Is that the one that has
Mega Man? It says on the cover.
It says on the cover. Somebody made a mess.
I do not know what is on the cover. I've not seen the cover of this.
Okay.
I would imagine Mega Man is not on the cover, as there are no Mega Man games involved in this.
Well, that doesn't mean anything with that games, but okay.
That is true. So what this is, what the Legends Gamer Pro is, what does just sound like we just picked 3 random video game words and stuck them together to be our product name. Yes. It is an arcade controller. It looks like you took the controller panel from an arcade machine and just ripped it off, and boom, it's right there. It's 2 players, 8 buttons for each player. You have the little player 1, player 2 buttons at the top. There's also a trackball in the middle as well.
Okay.
And it has like 150 games built into it.
150 poorly emulated games.
Well, here's the thing. Hold on. Because it's apparently not bad.
Okay.
Because the thing retails for like $230, $250.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. But Walmart had it on sale. Walmart.com, which is their website, had it on sale for $100. And I saw people talking about it, and apparently you can do things like customize it in various ways. and I was reading some reviews of it. And
I guess the big thing would be build quality, right?
everything I've read about it says that it is actually good. It's apparently pretty decently built.
It's a lot of fun.
And apparently the emulation is actually pretty good. And apparently At Games has been trying to recently to turn its well-tarnished, well-deserved tarnished image around. And apparently this thing is decent. And I figured, well, for $100, I guess I'll try it out and see.
That's a pretty good deal for something that's $230. I mean,
yeah,
it's double. Yeah,
and
I mean that'd be pretty awesome.
And I was looking at the list of games, and again, this can be modified in various ways if you are into modifying things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was looking at the list of the 150 games, and it's a lot of stuff like it's got a bunch of Data East stuff on there.
Burger Time.
Data East will just license out their games to just anyone apparently these days. It's got some Taito stuff on there too, so it's got like Bubble Bobble and just some of the Space Invader stuff, and just a bunch of Taito stuff. But yeah, it's got like Bad Dudes, which is not a good game, but I have very fond memories of it, and
so does everybody.
Yeah, and for some reason, it also has like a bunch of random console games on there for some reason.
So basically, they threw everything at it that they had a license for.
Absolutely, that is absolutely what happened, because it has the Genesis version of Aladdin.
Okay,
it's a good one.
Why not?
I mean, it looks nice. It has the Super Star Wars games on there, which are not good games.
I remember loving the idea of those games.
I know.
Sure.
I know. And hey, now you get to play the Super Star Wars games with an arcade stick.
Fantastic.
That's not going to be fun, but also it has like Elevator Action Returns, which I don't know if you've ever played Elevator Action Returns, but it's outstanding.
Yeah, that's a game that I would love to have the Saturn version of that game. I've heard nothing but great things about the game, but that's fairly expensive. The import is fairly expensive.
Yeah, it is. So, but yeah,
cool.
I ordered that, so I'm going to have this giant, dual stick arcade machine that I'm going to be messing around with later. So
nice.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, hopefully it's as good as people say it is.
Oh, for that price, yeah, I would definitely have pulled the trigger on that.
And it's got apparently like it's
someone had stolen $850 from me.
Yeah. Oh boy. I guess it's got like streaming capabilities and stuff too that I haven't even like looked at any of that stuff, but apparently
it looks like it has some sort of puck, like little puck thing. Is it a wireless system, or
the puck is what plugs into your TV, and then it's you got the wireless controls go into that.
Interesting.
So
that's cool.
I mean, for $100, I was like, I'll dig a chance, see what happens. So apparently, it's sold out.
I can imagine for $100.
Yeah, well, the deal was up for like a day or two.
It's a long time for the internet.
Well, I'm thinking it's At Games' reputation preceded it, which caused it to not immediately sell out, which worked in my favor, no doubt. But so we'll see what happens. It's going to be here supposedly like a week or so. We'll see. But yeah, that's me this week.
All right. Well, I've been playing more Animal Crossing, so I've kind of gotten back into Animal Crossing.
I played a bit of that too this week, actually.
It's kind of fun to like play a little bit before bed. Like I've just been like hopping on, noodling around, digging up my 4 fossils, talking with my townspeople, cashing some stuff in, and then calling it a night. And it's kind of refreshing to do that. It's kind of strange. Like I haven't kept with Animal Crossing, but I spent 140 hours in the game so far on Switch. So, but now I'm just kind of like, I'm at that point in the game where there's not really a whole lot to do. Blathers will identify a fossil and they're all going to be things that I'm going to sell
Right.
to Nook's Cranny. There's nothing really new.
I'm assuming you've completed your fossils.
I think I've completed everything at this point. Yeah,
Oh, really?
fossils. Yeah, definitely the fossils. Maybe
right.
I don't think the fish or the bugs are
Right.
complete because I took some months off there.
Well, it's really good timing getting back into it now, especially now that this is like the 1-year anniversary of its release. So you'll be doing all the stuff that you
all
were
the
doing
things that we did last year.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, it's
I
not
know,
like,
right?
oh man, I missed the Thanksgiving event. I missed the Christmas event, but now I get to. Nope, it's like, yeah, just in time for that Easter event again.
I'm curious if they're going to alter that Easter event based on feedback from last year.
Yeah.
But or do some different stuff with those. Yeah, I don't know, because a lot of people who are like heavy in Animal Crossing obviously already did it last year. So,
right.
So maybe they'll have a new twist on it or something. I don't know.
I think the Easter event would have been better received if it had not occurred like a week after the game came out.
I think you're right.
Yeah, because everyone was just like,
right.
hey, we just got this game. We're excited to, do all our favorite Animal Crossing pastimes, and now it's just, everything's eggs now. We just got this game. I don't want to see eggs.
That's right.
Yeah. It was overwhelming. God, that event was so annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm having fun with it. It's just kind of like a relaxing sort of wind down to the day.
Yes.
And I bought all the Mario stuff and have arranged it on my island.
Okay.
In addition to being in one of the rooms of my house, now there's also like a Mario area with little coins to pick up and a thwomp to do its thwompy thing next to you.
Yes.
It's a good time. It's a good time. Animal Crossing. Digging it.
Yeah.
And then I downloaded Dishonored. So I've never played Dishonored 1 or 2. Just that's a complete blind spot in my gaming. I've just never even read all that much about them or like looked at those games. I'm surprised at how much it reminds me of BioShock. But it's like it sort of starts off and you're framed for a murder and you have to escape a prison. And it's just like the sort of dual wielding aspect of it just reminds me of some of the best bits of BioShock. I don't know. I'm having fun with it. Playing on easy. So we'll see how far I get in it. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. That it's old. It's like a 2012 game. And it feels old in some of its design. Yeah, it was a 360 and PlayStation 3 game.
Oh my god.
That got ported to Xbox One and
when did time start to accelerate?
I know, right? It's crazy. But so having fun with that, having fun messing around with that. We'll see how long I stick with it. It did not make me nauseous, which I was happy about, which means that I'll get to play Deathloop. Like I was sort of playing Dishonored to see if what first-person shooter engine Arcane uses would be compatible with me playing so that I could play Deathloop later. Because our friend Joe Fielder did some writing work on Deathloop.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did he?
I'm very excited to potentially play that title. So
nice. Yeah.
And anyway, that's what I've been playing. So I guess that means it's time for tweets. Wow, you're skipping there for a second.
Tweet.
Really mixing it up there.
Oh,
All right, let's do this one from Hackerelius Scoop Jessica, who says, finally unhooked the PS4 today, even though the towering shadow of the PS5 displaced it several weeks ago. What console did you have a tough time saying goodbye to?
I never said goodbye to any of them.
Oh, maybe like off your main television. If you had like obviously you haven't said maybe you haven't even said goodbye to any of those then, Greg.
Well, I mean, I guess I would say like my Saturn is still hooked up to my main TV. And it's there's never been a time when I don't think I've ever really disconnected that thing from like my main television. I guess that would fall into that category. I just love that system. I think it's probably my favorite Sega system.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it still works fine and everything?
Yeah. Still works great.
My cartridge slot crapped
My
out on
cartridge
me.
slot's a little finicky. I've always meant to pick up one of the newer models, like remember when they redesigned it and it had like the more circular buttons on it and everything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm curious if the cartridge slot was a little less. My cartridge slot still works, but from the day it was released, and everybody I know who bought one early on had the same problem.
Yeah.
The cartridge slot was always a little finicky.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Especially if you're using third-party like memory cards.
But I wasn't.
Oh, I was.
Oh, really?
No. I only ever used the original, the official like Sega RAM cart, and then we were importing stuff too. So like I remember getting the expansions for like the SNK games and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
I used like the Daytel Electronics.
Oh,
I do now because you can play imports that way. But
yeah,
my Saturn is modded actually.
So is mine for
It has
imports. I should say that
has the
Switch?
has the Switch installed on the side. Got that done at Cyberzone, I believe.
right.
The import shop
my
in
friends,
Schaumburg.
my friends and I learned how to do that, and we did it ourselves, having
Oh, did you
no
really?
experience soldering.
Wow.
Only one of us destroyed our system, and it wasn't me. So,
Well, then you're
that's good.
fine.
remember somebody who actually knew what they were doing. One of my roommates walked in one day and saw us, and they were like, "You're using a heat shield on that, right?" And we were like, "What's a heat shield?" So
We're not re-entering the atmosphere.
yeah,
It
what are you, stupid?
ain't rocket science, Batman. I'm just
I got
putting a switch in my system for
a little
Christ's
switch
sake.
sticking out the little battery where you put the MPEG card. Normally, that's where the switch is on. Mine.
Oh, okay. Mine. They actually carved a little hole in the side of the system.
Nice.
Yeah, so I have a little like actual toggle there. But again, my cartridge slot doesn't work, so kind of defeats the purpose of.
Have you
being
tried
able
it
to,
lately? Because
I have
mine,
not.
I thought mine wasn't working for a long time, and then suddenly it was. So,
Oh,
like I said, they're just really touchy.
Weird. Yeah, no, I haven't tried it in years, but
considering the amount of hours I've put on that system, I'm surprised it still works.
yeah.
Like it's got a lot of mileage on it.
I see. Disconnecting the Wii U was kind of hard. I like the Wii U.
The Wii U was a good little
I like
system.
the Wii U. I finished a lot of games on
didn't have a
Wii U
chance.
because of the gamepad.
Yeah.
And off TV play, and I, wasn't sure a lot of those games would make the switch over to Switch. Turns out almost all of them did.
I had the Wii U hooked up for way longer than I would have, just because Finn was super big into the Skylanders games a few years ago.
Yeah.
So and that was the only way to play Skylanders. So
Yeah. I kind of want to go back to Wind Waker HD, but I figure we'll probably get that for Switch. So I should just wait.
yeah.
I really need to replay Wind Waker.
Wind Waker HD is
I
so
love
good.
that game.
I finished Wind Waker finally on the Wii U. So
I had a little trouble getting disconnecting the GameCube.
Yep.
yeah,
That's a great little system too.
Because good games on there, and also
Game Boy Player.
that's exactly like even
But Phil,
more the Game Boy Player. Yeah,
It doesn't play Game Boy games at the right speed.
does it not?
No, apparently not.
Really?
Oh,
What's
Exactly.
the-
That was pretty
what's
much my response too.
really? It seemed
Could've
fine
pulled
to
me.
me.
Or maybe it's the resolution or something. I don't know. There's something weird about it because you can get aftermarket discs that have been created that play Game Boy games properly.
Oh, really?
Seemed
But
fine to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
It's the only way to play Kirby Tilt and Tumble for real.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why the system has a handle, for crying out loud. It's right there.
Oh my God, CJ playing. Was it Tilt and Tumble you were playing?
Double, yeah, on the wide boy with the
On
N64.
the wide boy with the N64. sitting
Just
there with
holding
his
the N64,
tilting it all over the
Holding
place.
it around.
I had to hold it upside down, yes, to play Kirby's Tilt and Tumble.
It was great.
And I was also taking screenshots for the review or the preview, so I had to have my pinky finger on the S key on the key.
So context.
Yeah.
When we were at AGM, and this was during the Game Boy Color years.
Yes.
But the way that we would play Game Boy, well, not play them. We'd play them when we played them. We just play them on a Game Boy Color. But the way that we'd play them to take screenshots would be on a Wide Boy, which was something that never came to market. But it was a Game Boy. It was like a Game Boy. a Super Game Boy, that type of thing, for the N64. So it was a N64 cartridge.
I could go get mine.
Exactly, and they've made it into the wild now, but they were never released commercially.
Right.
So of course, Kirby's Tilt and Tumble was a game that required you to tilt the game so that
it had a gyroscope.
It had a gyroscope
in the cartridge.
When CJ had to take screenshots for this game, he had to play it on his N64. And of course, it's in
holding
there,
the N64 system.
It's in there on the reverse angle from what it would normally be on your Game Boy. So it's got it upside down and backwards, and he's tilting the thing around. He's got one hand on the mouse. It was awesome.
Oh, not even on the mouse. So
best. Oh, and the screen on the
I had to hold keyboard. The N64 upside down and backwards, and then also have my pinky finger on the S key, which was the shortcut in Photoshop to take a screen.
That was the worst part of that.
And so I had to hold it over the desk and playing Kirby Tilt and Tumble to get good screenshots. It was crazy. Yeah.
I'm also just discovering that my Wide Boy 64 is worth like $3,000 or $4,000. So
yeah, because it's an official one that has like the Intelligent Systems.
So did you
sticker on it?
Right, Intelligent Systems made that thing.
Yeah.
So is that one that you took from?
That
Ziff?
used to be Game Now's.
Yeah. Alrighty.
I did my Wario Land 3 strategy guide on that exact same Wide Boy 64. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, let's do this one from Hacker Alias Grain Geek John, who says even after all this time, it's still almost impossible to buy a PS5 in the UK at a fair price. As soon as they come into stock, AI bots buy them and they end up on eBay at an inflated price. Despite what sales numbers might say, is this a terrible launch?
Yes.
But it's not limited to Sony and the PlayStation 5. Online shopping, there's a big problem with online shopping right now.
Well, that is
it's something that the retailers have to sort out.
Yeah.
Or they don't have to sort it out.
But I think they do. It's a terrible experience now.
But it's really bad. The Xbox and the PS5 have had it's terrible. It's impossible to get.
Yeah. And for terrible reasons.
Yeah.
I hear more about this on the UK side than I do on the US side. I don't see people necessarily complaining because I see video game deals and Wario 64 like tweeting out PS5 stuff for the US fairly often.
Yeah.
So I don't know how
it's still
that is it still bad here?
Well, yeah, because I have a friend of mine back in Illinois has been trying since launch to get a PS5
and just hasn't been able to
for his son's birthday, I believe, which was back around launch. And yeah, he's been trying, and I've actually been trying to help him. Like when I see, because my friend, he's not like he's not into video games like we are. So he's not constantly kind of tuned into this sort of thing. So whenever I see Wario posting Best Buy is supposed to have them in an hour, I'll send him a text and just be on the lookout, and I'll actually jump in and try and get one for him as well.
Right.
And neither of us have been able to
so crazy
to get him.
It's frustrating.
But
I mean, I don't think it's a great look for for Sony, but I mean, I guess also they don't have any like huge games coming out until Ratchet. So yeah.
It's not that different to how hard it was to get a Wii for a very long time after it came out.
Oh my god!
I mean, that was a long
ridiculous
time. That was a year or so.
That was almost a year.
Yeah. So I mean, it's definitely not the worst. But I'm just I go back to what I say, that online shopping sucks. It just sucks.
Yeah. Of course it does.
It's terrible now, and unfortunately, we're in a situation where most of the things you buy, you end up buying online, and it's just an awful experience.
It was almost a year for the Wii when I finally saw one in stores again.
Mm-hmm.
And the Wii that I had a problem where it would be 2 minutes of black screen before it would load a disc.
Jesus.
Yeah. And I just never got that addressed because I was like, if I send it in or whatever, like there's no guarantee.
What was up with that?
I don't know. It just would not boot games in a
I
timely
remember-
fashion.
I remember the Wii had a problem where like the GPU would burn out or something, right? Like you get those sparkles
there
on the
was that.
screen.
But
Really?
I
I
never
felt
got the sparkles. I just had
Huh.
a problem loading games.
The Wii was
Okay.
the only system that generation I didn't have a technical problem with. Like I went
Oh,
through
really?
2 PS3s and I went through like 4 Xbox 360s and
Yeah, that
The
the
Xbox 360. Yeah, I went through a couple of those.
the Wii sparkles was pretty
oh,
widespread.
yeah,
It happened.
sparkles. I do
It
remember
happened
that.
to me. It happened to me. I had to send
Yeah.
mine in to get fixed.
Yeah.
But
The I remember because this was before you went online to buy all this stuff, but driving to work some days early in the morning and seeing a line outside of EB, it's like, oh, so
yeah.
yeah,
we clearly got some Wii's and word got around.
right,
And like 2 people out of the 40 in line would get one.
yeah.
Yeah. We can do this one from Hacker Alias Nar Warrior, who says, what is a reasonable amount of time for next-gen consoles to be in short supply? When do you think they'll be on shelves? Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a PS5 or Xbox in like Target. I've seen plenty of Switches in the wild, actually. And I've seen PS5 and Xbox Series X accessories. I've seen those, but I haven't seen the systems themselves.
No.
I mean, I think if I haven't seen anything by June, then maybe it's of concern. But yeah, I guess a lot of people still want those machines.
strangely enough, people still
Imagine
want
that.
PS5s. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's end it with this one from Hacker Alias I finally watched, who says, listening to old episodes and hearing that you all loved playing Mario Kart Wii with the wheel was very surprising. What
That
are
is
some
surprising.
of your favorite gaming accessories? That is surprising, yes. What are your favorite gaming accessories? I loved the Genesis arcade stick, and of course, plastic instruments were a revolution.
The Gun Con.
The gun.
No, I never really used the Gun Con.
Really?
No, I have one. I have that and the PS2 version as well.
Oh man, playing Time Crisis, playing the Point Blank games.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And by extension, what was the Saturn's gun called?
It was just the I
Did
don't
it
know.
have a cute name? It had to have had a cute name, right?
Probably.
Also, a fantastic light gun. Playing
Oh yeah,
Virtual
House of the
Cop
Dead,
games.
Virtual Cop.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, light guns in general. I remember getting my NES, and the
Yeah.
first thing we did was come home and play Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
We played it
Yeah.
for a long time.
The Stunner. The Saturn Stunner.
Was it the Stunner?
Oh, really?
Yep.
Huh.
Okay. I would say, I mean, yeah, the Guitar Hero, playing that guitar was pretty damn
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I
like
would go
the-
back and say the DualShock. Well, it's just the PlayStation analog, and I know that N64 had analog before that. But my first experience using the PlayStation analog controller was when I imported the first Gran Turismo, and being a
Yep.
racing gamer,
Yeah.
that was a revelation. Playing that game with an analog controller was unreal. It was completely different from any driving game I had ever played before, and I played a lot of them.
Yeah.
So that was a game changer for
Yeah.
sure.
Completely.
DDR mats.
DDR mats. I had a lot of those.
When I met you guys,
Yep. Yep.
I had a lot of those. I had to import DDR mats.
Yes, indeed.
A lot of plastic.
DDR
instruments,
third mix,
of course.
baby.
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah. All the Beatmania games, the Beatmani music games. I played a lot of those.
Yeah.
When when the PS2 came out in Japan, I was in Japan. I was in Tokyo for that launch, and I bought several PS2s because I bought them for the EGM offices to bring back. And I bought myself a Japanese PS2, and then I bought a Beatmania controller and all the Beatmania stuff that I could get, and then played it on my Japanese PS2. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Loved it. Yeah, it's big into that.
One of my favorite accessories right here. You know what this is? You guys know what this is, right?
Oh, is that
Game
For
of
those watching
Arkanoid?
on YouTube, this is the
Arkanoid.
paddle controller for the DS, which was supported, of course, by the Arkanoid DS, but also Space Invaders Extreme.
I do miss paddle controllers. I remember playing games on the 2600 using those paddle controllers.
Oh, fantastic.
And like Kaboom. Oh my God. I played
Kaboom.
so much Kaboom. And
Night
of course,
Driver.
Pong, Night Driver. Yeah, like just
Warlords.
they were so good with those paddle controllers.
Yes, they were. Yes, they absolutely were.
Yep. I missed the Wii U gamepad too. I liked that thing. I know not many people did, but I enjoyed that. Anyway, I guess that's it. That's the episode. That's the end.
Sure.
You're the host, bro.
Yeah, we're just here
checking
for
with
the
you
ride.
guys that you're not reading the internet while I'm trying to end the show, Greg.
I am still, but
Yeah.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us, I would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on the Twitters, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You will find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward.
not for a while until all these other essays done.
Probably not for a while. And then also Generation 16 episodes will show up there too.
Yes, I overcame my technical difficulties this past week, so I'm kind of back up to where I was a week ago or
Nice.
2 weeks ago on the new episode. So it's moving along.
Excellent. You'll also find show notes and links to all the things
Oh,
that
my
we talked
goodness.
about. Including, I'm sure, the links to, I don't know, what all the accessories that we just mentioned. Maybe, probably.
If
One
that's-
of those.
that's the way
Anyway.
you want to do it.
Yeah. And you'll also find a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening application. We're also on Stitcher Radio. We're on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can check out archives, video archives of our shows on
Video.
the youtubes.com/P1 podcast. You can also watch us live most weeks on all sorts of platforms, the YouTubes, the Twitters, the Facebooks, the Twitch.tv.
Yeah.
We're live streaming
We're
on all
everywhere.
of those now. You will usually find us here or there or in those
Somewhere.
places on Sundays at 5:30 specific time. Please make sure your clocks are adjusted for daylight savings.
That's right.
Although if you're
Important.
hearing it now, it's already too late.
Just watch the
So-
VOD.
Yeah.
Watch the VOD.
Watch the VOD.
That's what the kids say nowadays.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's
Good
sort of-
world.
Is that like some sort of Five Nights at Freddy's thing?
Phil,
Phil. Yeah.
FNAF.
FNAF. Is that a FNAF
Come
thing?
on. Come on.
God, you're going to embarrass us at
boy.
FNAF Con.
Oh,
Five Nights with Freddy.
Sorry, fellow FNAFers. Is that what they call themselves,
My
FNAFers?
son is so into FNAF right now. It's ridiculous.
really?
Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like Night
Okay.
Trap for a new generation.
Oh, man. Hey, if you like what you've heard, and how could you, you could head over to patreon.com/P1 podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. Come in.
I was gonna say,
I don't know
is
what's
someone
happening.
knocking?
Who's knocking?
No,
There's a
like,
knocking.
people upstairs are, I don't know what they're doing.
That's from you?
Yeah.
That's the people upstairs at your place?
People
The upstairs
upstairs.
is a knocking.
Oh, boy.
They're knocking.
Oh, boy. CJ's upstairs neighbors
Yeah.
getting lucky. So,
I think they're probably hanging a picture.
On the
Of them.
floor?
Something.
of them,
On the
doing it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, boy.
I watched the episode of Parks and Rec where there's that picture that Jerry paints of the centaur Leslie Knope. It's very funny. Anyway,
I don't watch that show.
that's such a great
It's a very
show.
good show, but I
It's
do
funny.
not have the photographic memory for sitcoms that CJ has.
What?
It's a shame. It's a
Yeah.
shame. Imagine that.
I don't
know.
believe you.
I know. But throw a few shekels our way over at Patreon. Because CJ needs some soundproofing for his ceiling, apparently.
Apparently so.
And Greg owes a lot of money to some people. He's in stolen credit card debt now, so please help out. You know what, though, friends? Your Patreon funds do, of course, help keep our show running. Keeps our melon app melaning, as it were.
This is great, isn't it? We've been using it for a few weeks. I think
this is working quite well.
Fine.
This is working quite well.
Yes.
And of course, if you are a Patreon subscriber of the $5 tier,
cheap,
you get access to a special bonus episode each week where we play games crack-wise, have fun doing all the stuff we can't do on the main show. We have another game this week. CJ?
Oh, we sure do.
Oh, do we? What is it?
Yes, Mr.
God.
Mr. Nelson has sent us another Review
no.
Jeopardy. This time,
Yeah?
he swears he's checked the typos in MS Word.
I'm less concerned about the typos and more about us just getting mauled.
Any of the answers.
Because, we did terribly on his last one.
We did. But it was fun. It was still fun.
Well, of course.
As they always are.
But, there's only so much humiliation I can take.
Are you sure about that?
That's after being on this show for over 10 years.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
that's a lot of humiliation.
Join us for that, folks. We'll see what happens. Maybe
that we will.
Maybe we'll end up in the positive numbers this
Probably
time.
not.
Probably not.
But it'll be fun. We'll have fun.
It should be a hoot and a holler. Hey, and if you have a couple bucks left over, head over to generation-16.com and you'll find the Patreon link to help support Greg Stewart's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite second banana, the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Phil. And of course, if you support my show to the tune of $5 per episode,
also cheap,
you get access to weekly video logs about the creation of the episode, other videos I'm working on, what I've been playing, the books and things that I use for research for each episode, the progress of making my game room, all kinds of stuff every week. And again, that is $5 per episode of Generation 16, which comes out to about $15 to $20 a year. So
not bad at all. And I'd like to send some very happy birthday wishes to Mad Magazine artist extraordinaire Al Jaffe, who created all those wonderful Mad fold-ins on the back cover.
Didn't he do the marginals too, or did he some of those, or was that Sergio Aragonis?
That's Sergio Aragonis.
Okay. Who's great as well.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. Al Jaffe also did the snappy answers to stupid questions, which was a very popular long-running Mad column series. Al just turned 100 this past week.
Wow.
So yeah,
right.
Yeah, and I believe he just retired like 2 years ago, maybe.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Yeah, like right. he was doodling for a long time before he decided to hang up his pen there. So, I know he's a listener. So, big.
No, he'd be dead by now if he's a listener.
Yeah, that's true. Big old happy birthday to Al Jaffe, whose amazing artwork and stupid sense of humor did a number on me in throughout junior high, which is about when I started reading Mad Magazine. I read Mad Magazine when I was a kid. I don't know if
so did I.
I don't know if you
Mad and Cracked all the time.
I never read Cracked.
Cracked was good.
Cracked was always the
Mad was better.
The store brand Mad. Yeah. That's how I saw it. So yeah, never read it, but yeah, good stuff. CJ, thank you so much.
Thank you, Phil.
Gregory,
yo,
thank you as well.
Thank you, Philip.
Yes, or should I say, thank you as well.
You, Phil.
There you are. I'm looking up at you on our
YouTube
screen. There they are.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you. You gotta kind of go at an angle.
Angle. There we go.
You gotta angle it. There. We're getting it. We're getting used to it. And of course, thank you I know just where to point to our wonderful listeners.
Yeah.
Every single one of you. We do appreciate you tuning in every week. And of course, take care of yourself. Stay safe. Take care of your family. Take care of your loved ones, your friends. Treat everyone wonderfully. Be kind.
Rewind.
Please rewind. Oh my goodness. Do you know what a pain that is? The wear and tear that these video stores have to deal with.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we will see all of you next week.
All right.